Hello, everyone. I'm Gary Laubach, and we are ready to talk basketball, women's basketball, right around the corner. Boston College on November 4th. That game will be at Boston, and then St. Francis comes to the Kirby on November 9th. That's a Saturday afternoon. So obviously, you're always invited to tune in to ESPN Plus and watch college basketball with the Lafayette women. I'm with Kia Damon-Olson into her 8th season. I can't believe it's your 8th season. Maybe you can.
No, I tell people when they ask, I'm like, COVID really messed up the counting because it feels more like 5 or 6. It doesn't feel like 8.
You've had a little bit of downtime, I guess, I hope. What do you do in your downtime? How do you relax, Kia?
What downtime?
Yeah.
It's just a slower pace. And so like when the kids are here during the summer, we're limited in what we can do with them. So for the most part, you're trying to come up with activities to keep them occupied. We went into New York City, we went to the amusement parks, like we went go-kart racing, like we do a lot of those kind of things. But when I have moments of quiet, I hate to admit this out loud, but I'm turning into my mother. Gardening, just all that kind of stuff that you can kind of just do around the house and just kind of be quiet in your thoughts. Those are the types of things I like to do, outdoor stuff for the most part. Watching basketball is fun for me. So I'm a fan of the game. And so watching high level play, pros, whether it be the men or the women, that's always fun. Traveling is always fun. So I'm kind of simple.
Very, very good. All right, let's talk a little bit about your basketball team. You lose your number one scorer, Michaela Andrews. You lose your number one rebounder, and Kayla Drummond. How do you replace that? What is the plan here to get some points on the board to get rebounds?
Yeah, you know what? I think the thing that each team has its own personality and a life of its own. And I think that, what we will look like this year will definitely be a team that's sum of all of its parts. Just from what we've been able to see from scrimmaging, the scoring's going to be dispersed. The rebounding is going to be dispersed. The guard's going to get more involved in that neck of the woods. But we're also going to be a team that, there's a lot more motion and movement and free-flowing basketball. We're going to be more disruptive defensively. So it's just going to take some, tweaks here and there, but we don't need to make wholesale changes. We've generally been a by committee, even though you have a leading scorer and a leading rebounder.
I watched your scrimmage on Saturday. I thought you played very well. The girls really got up and down the floor. That's something I know you've always wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
So who gets your points? Who's going to get the threes? Who's going to get your points? Who's going to get points inside?
Well, like I said, I think it's all going to be by committee. I think we have the ability to get perimeter points from our guards as well as post-up points from our guards. I think we can get perimeter points from our forwards as well as post-up points from our forwards. So they're all going to contribute, and I think it's going to be one of those games where on any given night, anyone, can really lead us in scoring. Anyone can really lead us in rebounding. But, anyone that watches us knows that, Abby is the engine that kind of gets things going. And she's a great kid in the sense of, we've statted a lot of things in practice, and, she has some ungodly number of almost 20 assists to 4 or 5 turnovers. So she's finding people and getting people a lot of wide open shots. And, Talia is going to be able to do much in the same. And we're getting a lot more ball handling and decision making from the other guards, as well. So I'm excited about what we're going to be able to do this year that will be different from the previous years, just because our personnel gives us even more versatility.
Let's talk about the newcomers, the women that the people at home have not seen. Let's start with Talia Zarinskis out of Parkland High School, local. Certainly came here with a lot of good press. She can pretty much do it all.
Yeah, Talia's a great kid. I mean, she's a really good athlete. She's able to get to the rim. She's physical. She's gained some weight since she's left high school. So we'll call it muscle mass. We won't call it weight. So she's definitely gonna be a kid who gives us a big punch. She can defend, 94 feet and is not unwilling to do the work. So, we're gonna get a lot of scoring and assists. She's a really good passer. I think that's an underrated part of her game. She's able to find people in those little small cracks of openings to get some pretty easy shots. So she's going to be someone that we count on to give us some punch on both sides of the ball.
Well, you give me a little punch with Una. Let me make sure I get it right. Una Levichade.
Umangala.
Yeah, Umangala. Yeah, Una La Vicha Day. It's going to be a tough one, probably more difficult for John Leone than it is for me. But how did you find her, and what are the expectations?
Well, she was a young lady that, was in the transfer portal. We did not recruit her previously. She was a kid who went to high school here in the States, in South Carolina specifically. And it was really through connections of, Tina down at UNC Wilmington. Tom worked for Tina at Delaware. So it kind of helped us get in the door, a little bit. And I think we were able to quickly build a relationship with Mengale, and then it just kind of blossomed from there.
That's a good story. How about Rosie Scanamilio? I think that's her name. You're driving me crazy with some of these names.
Rosie, that's what we call her.
What do you call Mengale?
Mengale.
All right. Let's talk about Scanamilio.
No, Rosie's a sharpshooter, and she doesn't need much room or time to get her shot off. And so she can do more than shoot, but I would say her A1 skill is definitely her shooting ability. She's a playmaker. She gets very untimely, or I should say she gets very timely defensive plays as well. So she's going to be someone that definitely helps us stretch the floor. She's going to help create for us a little bit on the offensive end as well. So she's going to give us even more depth and punch from the guard position. And
another young lady who is new to the program is Jordan Mays. Jordan, of course, is good size, 6'2", a forward. She's out of Texas. So how'd you find her?
Just AAU events. So we were actually scouting a kid that she was playing against in the AAU circuit, and we saw Jordan and just kind of started the relationship building process. And, she's a great kid, comes from a great family. And I think, the sky's the limit where she's concerned, because there's just so much room for growth and development in her game. And if we're able to get her, quality minutes this year, I think she will only benefit from that. But right now, everything is new. How to put on your shoes is new. How to do, everything is new. And so you have to give them space to adjust and adapt. That's one of the point guard and the center and the forward positions are some of the harder positions to transition to college in, especially if you're going to be active in the defense and not just allowed to camp out in the paint. But you got to get out, you got to hedge, you got to be involved in rotation. So those are the things that she's learning at this point.
I noticed Rosie comes from the same program as Abby and the same program as Michaela. Did they at all any time play together? I'm sure they know each other.
Yeah, I'll have to think, because Rosie transferred in. I know she played with Abby. I think maybe it was the ships passing with Michaela, but I know she definitely played with Abby for sure.
Are you excited?
For the year? Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's like we do all this practicing, we do all this preparation, and now, like with our scrimmage this past weekend, we'll have another one in a few days. Like, you're excited to see your group against another group. So just really figure out where you are, give yourself a week, 10 days, and then it's for real.
I'm excited to see your group against any group. Good luck to you. We'll see you very shortly. Okay. Head coach, Kia Damon-Olson for GoLeopards.com.